Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
Hope my screen is visible. Okay, so this part we have done it to create the data types and all these things. So and let me create a new file and I will explain a new concept today. It is called encapsulation. Okay, so I just paste it whatever I have written yesterday. All these things steps. Okay. So let's not waste all these things. Let's create a very simple what do you call it? Very simple logic. Okay. So suppose let's say suppose you have a class called xyg. Think like that. So and you have the constructor, and inside that suppose let's take self dot let's take self dot x equals to 0, self dot y equals to 0. Okay. And you have a function called self dot demo, and I'm just declaring def demo. Get this pass it right now. Okay. Now in this class, if you see, there are two variables or the two data types or the two attributes and one method is available, right? So now when I am, let's take in this, I want to access it. So what I have to do here, from encapsulation import xy z. Okay, and suppose obj object equals to xyg. That's what we are doing always. Now if I put obj dot, so I am getting, see, these are all the other methods, that's fine, but the class methods are which one? If you see the whichever is the class method, xyg is coming, right? So these are coming like the demo, x and y. That's three things are coming for my object. Now the point of encapsulation is, what is the point of encapsulation? The encapsulation says that on the OOPS is that says that the data members should not be accessed by object or anybody. Okay, so it means that you can able to access your methods. You can just call the method and whatever there inside, you can just execute that. But should not able to see the x and y. These are all the data attributes that we are using it. So that should not be visible to the user, right? So just think like that. Okay. Suppose you have a class called bank. Okay, this, let's say this is bank, and you have two variables here. One is your self.pin and one is your self.balance. If these two variables will be visible to the customer, then there is a problem, right? We should not see pin and balance at least. For us, it is fine, but we should not see other pins and balance. So ideally, the pin and balance, these two, the object or the attributes, should not able to see by anybody. Make sense?
Yes,
Getting
sir.
the point?
Yep.
So if those kind of scenario comes up in a real-time scenario, so those concepts are from the Java and C++ also, the private part. Okay, private and the public. So normally what happens is, whenever you are defining any variable, it's a public. Okay, I'm sorry. So this is all are public. So whenever you create an object, you will able to see it. So to make it uh, invisible or private, I can say, before to the variable, Okay, I need to put 2 underscore. So whenever I'm putting 2 underscore here, then this variable will be make it as a private here. Okay, there is no keyword in Python. It's called private and all, or just put 2 underscore. Okay, now if you see here, after done that, I say obj dot. If you see, I am not able to see x and y. Only I am able to see the demo itself, because that I have hide it. Hide it in the sense I make it as a private, and the object will not able to see that x and y. That makes sense? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one question, and sometimes in interview they ask you, okay, you should know this. Once in a while you will face. Why? The question is, they will ask you that, okay, these are the 2 variables, and when the question would be like this only. They would say there are some variables inside the class which I don't want to see, or which I don't want to access to the object. You can say yes. You can put underscore underscore before to the variable to make it as private, so that object can't access it. First part is clear. But how, will ask you, how it is happening inside the scene. Like exactly what happened when you put a double underscore here, that immediately object will not able to access. What exactly is all about here? Okay, got the point? So exactly, just understand this question. Okay, so whenever you are, try to focus on this. Okay, whenever you are putting a underscore underscore like something like that. So the variable is something like double underscore x. When you make it this, right, Python will store it as the class name uh, underscore, your class name is xyz, then underscore underscore, one second, I'm coming. Okay, so now whenever you are putting any variable as underscore underscore x or anything, Python will store is like underscore your class name underscore underscore x. Okay, so this is the way it stores here. Make sense? So, and this is a separate variable itself. Okay, so it will be storing here only. So now the question they will ask you, this is the fundamental question they will ask you, like what exactly happening inside the scene. Now the second question maybe they can ask you here is that, can you access the variable like this? If you are saying that your variable, whenever you are putting a double underscore x, Python will store like this, the class name underscore underscore the variable name, then can you access this variable in this way? Is it possible or not? They will ask you this question. Okay, so the answer is, what do you think? Is it possible? If you ask we don't know, but this question, let's take somebody ask you, is it possible? Hmm?
No, no.
Okay, so let's say I'm putting 5 here. So what are others, guys? Others answer? Please answer it. It's not like yes or no. It's not a exam also. What do you think?
Um, I too also guess you cannot access it.
So now I'm getting object. I'm not getting that x and y here. Okay, but let's try to do something. Let's print it now. Print obj dot. Okay, so I say underscore xyz, then underscore underscore x. Okay, so this was the my objective behind that. Okay, so ideally I should get an error. If else, it will be store me. It will give me the 5, right? Whatever may. So let's run it. I'm getting the 5. Strange, right? Got the point? So what is the point here, which I'm talking about? So here it proves that whenever you have a private variable, it will store underline, it will be like this only. Okay. Now we can able to access this way. So what does it mean? In Python, nothing is private actually. Okay. Now you can say contradict on this question that this is not good, right? If you say, you got the point. First of all, up to here it is clear.
Yes.
Getting the point? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Samir.
I'm
Yeah, by
coming to this.
using by using the underscore, we can't private. That is the conclusion, right? So we can print the number.
I'm coming to that. Just give me a hold on.
Okay. Okay,
So
sir.
my question would be, I'm saying in Python nothing is private. Why? Because whenever you will declare a private variable, still I will be able to access with this syntax, like underscore the class name, then underscore underscore the variable name. So because when that way the Python store the variable. Okay. Now the question would be here that why they did it like this. Like private means private only, right? In Java, if you declare a private variable, we will not able to access at any cost. Whatever you do, okay, we will not able to access that. So, but here the point is what they are saying is that two things. Okay, yes, fine. You declare this variable as private and internally Python store like this. But as a programmer, you have some responsibility, right? Because this is who knows this concept? Only you knows. As a developer who is developing the application, he knows that these are the private variable and this can be accessed by you. That is your responsibility. Why, if you declare a variable as a private, why you will access this way? That is against the fundamentals of the programmer. Second is that Python thinks in this sense that okay, yes, you declare this as a your private variable. Maybe in a future or in some instances, if they want to access it in a different way or you want to see the data for that, then there is a choice they have given to you that go in this way, boss. Go with this way and access it. But when you declare a variable as a private, that is your responsibility that you should not access in this way to your senior programmer, to the junior programmer who is using that. That makes sense? Got it the point?
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
good?
sir.
Yes, yeah. But there is a way to do this. Okay? You should know this. That's it. There might be once in a while they will got this question also. Okay? And
Sir,
even
how useful is
good
in real time will they really use like this is just for the interview purpose, this concept?
concept only. That's what I'm saying. If you declare a variable on like a private, you think that this should be private, why you will access like this? It's not
Yes.
it's not good, right?
Yeah.
Because that you only declare as a private and you are a programmer and you are breaking your own code. That's not good. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Samir. Can we make function as private?
yeah. Same,
Okay.
same. You can put a double underscore so that it will make you this as a private. Same
Okay, sir.
procedure. Yeah. Okay. So this is about your encapsulation. So encapsulation says the data members or methods. So that's the way the encapsulation works. Got it? Now, uh, okay. Now another interview perspective, one small concept is there that they will ask you in the question is that that is called, let me put it in this way, the collection of objects. Okay, a collection of the objects. What is a collection of the objects? Then how we will create all these things. Okay. Sorry. Before doing that, yeah. Okay. Let's do that. What is a collection of objects here? So collection of objects is something like, let's delete this, and suppose I am creating a customer, class customer. Then I say I'm declaring my constructor here, and inside that, suppose I'm saying name and age. I'm passing on two parameters here. I say self dot name equals to name, self dot age equals to age. Okay, fine. Now, up to now, you are I'm doing in a different way now. So whenever you are calling this class, you are going to a different file. That's the way you should do it. Like you will import the class, and from there you can create the object and start using it. But for a test purpose, on the same file itself, you can create the object and you can test it out also. Okay, that you can do that. So here I'm saying C1 equals to customer of, let's take first, I'm saying ABC. That's age is, let's take 21. The first object I created. Second object I want to create C2 equals to your customer. Then I'll say DEF, and let's take 23H. Now I'll say C3 equals to my customer. Let's take PQR. Then I'm saying this is 25. So now each object holds three elements. So first customer is ABC21, second is this one, this one. Now I can do one thing. Collection of objects means the objects, whatever, how many objects I created here?
Three.
How many
Three.
objects
Three.
those three objects, whatever the data it holds, I can keep it inside a list, or I can keep it inside the iterables, and I can keep it inside a tuple. Everything I can do that. How I can do it? So I can say declare here customer underscore list equals to, I say C1 comma C2 comma C3. So this is a collection of your object. Okay. Now I can do the whatever I was doing it. I can do a for loop. I can do a customer for the whatever the methods I have for the list. I can execute anything now. Okay. So say for I in customer underscore list, I say print, um, let's take I. What do you think you will get this output? So here I am. What is the output you should get it here? What do you think? Normally, what do you think here if I done this?
ABC 21, DEF
Hmm.
23,
All
PQR
the
20.
all the
All
items
the
here.
Okay, let's run this. But you got three
the memory address.
three memory address you got. For each object you got it. Okay, what's the problem?
Yeah, Samir, without using index, we can't print here. I think so.
Yeah, we are going with the index only. because this is
Yes.
I. Yeah. But when I'm printing the I, three times it is printing each object the memory. So the first object memory is C1, this is C2, and this is C3. But I'm not getting the data which is stored inside the object. What should I do?
The reason, right? My understanding is the
Hmm.
C1 is store the object. Okay, it's not storing the A, B, C 21. Okay, so
Hmm.
you are creating this is the class you are creating an object of the class, right? So
Hmm.
you need to access the member of the C1, like a C1
Customer
dot
dot
name,
I.
C1 dot
Exactly.
name equal to like
Customer.
that.
Exactly. Exactly. Good job. Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. Yeah. If you say the object is a variable, right? So you need to through the object, you should you should have able to access your members, right? Wherever you are doing the same thing. If you see the object dot method object dot variables. So here also this is now is treated as an object. It's not an index now. I is a C1, I is a C2, I is a C3 because you are iterating to the object now. So here the list item which you are passing on C1, C2, C3 is an object. It's not a normal variable. Okay. That object holds some variable, holds some data. That we can need to access through the object dot variable, object dot variable. Make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And now we can do anything. From here onwards, you can do whatever you learned. The list, tuples, operations, anything we can do. And this concept is called your collection of the objects. You can store the object as a member inside the list. But the only difference here will come is that whenever you are accessing the part, if you say I dot name, then only you will able to access the member of that class or for that object. That's the only difference we need to see. Make sense?
Yeah. Sir, in this list, can we
Mhm.
take objects from different classes also and make a list?
That will come to know. That we will do in inheritance. Now you are doing with the single class only. Okay, let's
Okay,
do.
but that's
We'll try
possible.
that. Yes, that's
Yeah.
possible. Yes. Okay. So now let's understand another concept in the OOPS area, which is these are all you can use in somehow in a real time scenario, but these are more of a like interview perspective. Like they will ask you what is collection object, then what is encapsulation, how you can do that, how you will access the private variable, why the if that is the case, why the why Python make it as a private. All this question they will ask you. Okay, so now let's understand your static variable and starting methods. Okay, so what exactly the static is all about? Let's try and understand. So let's take uh, in a customer class, right? Or even let's go to my file. One second, let me copy this and one second, let me create a file first. My superstores. Okay, insert the superstore. This is my items. Okay, so suppose let's say you know how to run this file. So here my requirement is try and understand whenever any customer is coming, I want to give an ID to him, just a ID number, row ID number. So if the first customer is coming, it is 1, second customer is coming 2, third customer is coming 3. Like that I need. Make sense? Here, if I ask you that same question, how you will do it here? The same scenario out of the project you have done. The question is, whenever I am running this program, I'm saying from my file name, import the class name. Then object equals to the class name we are creating, and it is running. Now, when I'm running that object, whatever the first object I created, treat like this is a customer one for me. So when I'm creating a first object of that class, then automatically I should have a variable called customer ID or something like that. That should be one. And when I'm creating a next object of that class and running it, the customer ID should be 2. And when I'm creating another object, the customer ID should be 3. So like that, how many customer it can do? Because in the superstore, lots of customer will come, right? So each customer is one object. Compare that. Okay. So each customer is a one customer with an object, and that should be assigned one object ID or a customer ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 each time. Okay. Got the question? You got the question first of all, everybody?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes. Yeah.
Now tell me how to do this. If I ask you the same question, how you will do it here?
You mean to say what functions we have to add?
Logic he's
No,
asking.
no, no. Logic I'm asking. No function. It's just like a variable.
Oh, the
No
variable.
function. It's just a variable. So whenever the first customer comes up, it will be 1. Next customer it will be 2. Third customer will be 3. Just like a serial number, I can say, for the customer. Okay? Simple.
Yeah.
By using
So,
sequence.
For loop, by using for loop.
okay, why for loop? We'll see this. So I will take a serial number variable. I'm assigning to 1. On the first go, when this class object got created, it will be 1 only. Okay. Then after that, self dot serial number I'm equals to plus 1. I'm increasing one by one. Okay. Then will this work or not? We'll see. Okay. So how many customers? Let me put it only 2. Okay. So that my data will be faster for me. So I have a serial number now. Okay. Now I am running this. Will this logic work? We'll see it. Then I will come to your static. Okay. So from my superstore, import items. Okay. So here, let's take this is my customer one. Customer one equals to my items. Okay. Now if I run this, I will able to get one item. I will choose it. That's it. Now, if I want to access now C1, let's print it as well. Print C1 dot serial number. And if I want to print it here, run test one, stop and run. So we say 1, 1001 is just like 12. Then let's take 1002, that is like 23. Why serial number is not coming? Mm,
If you give 5 and it says quit, 5.
No.
No,
See, no.
No, then
Samir,
it's not
if
coming
the
print.
no, if you are calling as the items, right? Okay, after entering, it will go to the same loop, right? This menu will not out of this one, right?
yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah,
So
because
for us, yeah, that's correct. What Morgan is saying, that's correct. So what I'm doing is in this case is I'm just for now, for the sake, I'm just not calling the
Or
menu function as of now. Okay? Just for a test. Just for a test, nothing else. This is fine. Just for a test only I want to do it. So I just want to show you. Okay, it should not be loop
or
through. Again it will not. Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
Or you can put it in the after the this choice, right? Somewhere in the definition in this in the option itself, somewhere we can print it, right? The serial number. That is also
But that will be like from here again this function will call, right? Again we are calling the same function inside that. So again it will come the menu. It will never come the serial number. That's what the logic
okay.
is. Yeah, so let's try that now. See, serial number is coming as 2 for me because the first time it was 1, and when it the constructor got executed, uh, let's go there, sorry. I'm doing a +1 here. So the first time it got created and it got executed like this. See, serial number I started it should I ideally I should start at 0 actually, but I started as 1, that is fine. But I +1 I have done 2. So the first serial number which I got it is called 2. That's fine. Okay. Now tell me one thing here. Okay. I will say C2 dot items again and print C2 dot serial number. 2 times I'm calling. Okay. 2 object time. First object is C1 item and C2 item. Now run test. So first time it is going 1. I'm adding an item here 1001 12 1002 23. Again, second object is getting popped up for the C2. I'm putting for the second object also, I'm putting 1 and I'm adding few items 1003 12 1004 23. Now tell me what will be the serial number of C1 and what is the serial number of C2 before entering it. What we should get it here.
Serial number of 1 will be the 4 and serial number C2 will be 3, 2 or 3.
So C1 will be 2, you're saying 2 and
No,
3.
C1 will be for C1 will be the 4, right? C1 will be 4.
No, why 4?
2 and 4.
No, we are executed the fourth time, right? All the by default is a 1. So you are already executed 2 times, right? This is the third
No,
time you
no,
are executing.
no. I already refreshed it. Whenever the run is there, object will be refreshed, right?
Okay, then okay, 1 time you executed, right? 1 time
Hmm.
or 2 time executed, right? Now
Right
I
now,
got
first time.
confused.
I got first time. Let's take this.
First time, right?
Hmm.
First time, and the C1 will be printed as a 2,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And C2, can you go back to the code one more, the encapsulation, that superstore or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah.
SN1, SN, and again that also same, the first time you are executing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it will be 2.
It will be 2. Okay, Morgan answer is 2 and 2. Others?
C1 is 1 and C2 is 2.
1
1
and
and
2.
2. 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Okay. Okay. Now I am executing this. Okay. Both are true. That's the right answer. Why? Just understand. So where you define this serial number inside your constructor, and this will become one for each object. So when you are defining the C1 equals to item, so you are creating an object of that class, and that time what will be the serial number? It will be
It
1,
will be two.
and we are
Two.
saying plus 1. So for the C1 it will be 2. And when you create the C2, again the constructor will run, right? Again the constructor will be run, right? And that time again the serial number is 1. It's not serial number is not 2 for them, because each object have a separate variable entry. They are not able to see like what happened on the C1 that it is not taking to the C2. Makes sense? This is the way the object works. Object is a separate entity for each class. C1 is different, C2 is different here in this case. So C1 is not able to understand that what is happening to the C2 when, or when the C2 got created, what happened to the serial number, he's not able to see that. Make sense? This is the way fundamentally two object works. Get the point?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Whenever object is created, the constructor will be
execute
initialized, right?
yes,
Plus one.
initialize, and that will be the plus one only, and it will be plus one. That's it, it will do.
Okay.
But sometimes if you want to, the question would be when you, sometimes when you want to share the variable across objects or share the data members. So whatever happened on the C1, that you want to share with the C2 so that he will take it. So ideally this is wrong, because when I am on the first object, that I'm saying that that is the customer number 2. Then when I'm creating the next object, the customer number should be 3, because that's the second customer for me here. If you see, C1 should be, let's say this is a second customer for me. So when I'm creating another customer, that the counter should increase to, from that last whatever the customer I have in my superstore, that should be continued, right? So it will be 2 plus 1 equals to 3. Ideally that should happen, but here everything is customer number 2. This not make sense to me, right? Because the objects are not sharing the members. Here I want to say that the object should share each and every member across the objects. How you can do that? Makes sense? The fund, your understanding is correct, right? How you understand the data is okay. What you understood, you understand, right? What exactly I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So I will make it a 0 so that we will not miss places. So it will be first customer will be 1, then it will be 2. Inside that, if you put it this in this case, inside the constructor, this will never work, because if you do it inside your constructor, then each and every time it will be uh, sorry, it will be each and every time it will be 0 for each and class object, and it will be plus 1. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so that time this concept, when we want to share the data member across object, then the concept is called the static methods or static variables or methods. Okay, so here they, in the interview will ask two questions. What is instance variable and static variable, or static method or instance method, whatever may be, both are same. So your answer should be instance variable. We already saw. Okay, every object have a different here. Every object is different. So if I say C1 is different, C2 is different. they will not share anything across this two. So these are called the instance variable. When you are creating an object, when you are accessing the variable, C1 dot the variable name is not equals to C2 dot variable name if there is a constructor there, right? We saw that already. It is different. We are not sharing anything from that. But in static case, for the each object, the data should be same. How we can make it same, we will see that. This is called a static variable. Make sense? Difference between your instance variable and your static variable, or even static method and instance method as well. Okay, so to make it this as a static, we need to define this serial number before to the constructor. What I have done. Okay, so eh, what I have pasted actually, I think I have two times have different thing I pasted. One second. Copy this. Just hold on. Okay. Okay. So I want to define now the serial number as a static. So before to the constructor, I will define serial number equals to 0. If you define a variable before to the constructor, this is called a static variable. Okay. And inside the constructor, we can increment it because I want whenever the object got created, this should be assigned some value that I want to do it at any cost. So inside the constructor, the only difference here comes up is that how you are accessing your normal instance variable to the self. What is self? Yesterday I explained. Self is nothing but self is
Object.
what? Yeah, self is nothing but an object of the class.
Object. Mhm.
So normal variables, the instance variable, whatever you are creating, we are accessing through object dot tag, like object dot item price, object dot count, object dot sum, everything we are doing. But when you create a static method, we need to access through the class name. Okay, we need to access through the class name. So how we will do
Samir,
the class name? Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Samir, I have one doubt. Here, choice, we don't use self, right? So why? Because for option, we don't need to use self for variables. Or
I'm not at all get
yeah,
it. What is the point?
for choice in option method, we don't use self or class object anything, right? We just use the variable for choice.
That is inside that function, right? Local.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
So, but inside other methods, we are using object for every variable, right?
Because that is a class object. This is outside of the class. This function you are defining outside of the class. It's not inside the class, right?
Okay.
And if you want to access the class member, then you are using the self.item code because that is the member you define inside the class.
Okay, Samir. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now, if you want to access your static variable, the only difference comes up here. You need to access through the class name. So this time I will say items dot serial number will come up. Okay. Plus equals to 1. This is the only difference when you are defining a static method against your the normal variable or the instance variable. Now I'm just commenting this because I don't want to make it as a mess, so I can show you the result now. Just for a demo purpose, I'm just doing this one and let it make it as a 2. So let's run it. Now you understand? This is a difference. This is a static variable, and static variable always go through your class name rather than the object name. Okay. Now let's test this. So the same thing I'm testing now. Okay. So and just understand that the first is 0. So whenever any customer is coming, it will be 1, not 2 right now. Okay. Let's run it. So the first object got created, C1. I'm putting the first option as 1. I'm saying 1001 12. 1002 33. The first C1 is done. So C1 should be assigned with which serial number? First is 0, and
0.
when the object got created, I'm saying
1.
it is plus 1. It will be 1. Yes. It will be 1. Okay. So let's done that. Now second object got created. I'm putting again 1, 1003. Let's say 34, 1004 is 45. Now last time both have the same serial number, right? Now let's see. It is also 2, 2. Right? Mm, just give me a second. Is it C1.7? Oh, okay. I turned down. I think here we need to print like this. Whenever there is an, sorry, as I told you, no, the class, it should be the class. Whenever the static member, it should be turned to the class. Okay, let's try that one more time. Sorry for that. 1001, 12, 1002, 23, 1, and 003, 34, 1004, 35. Ah, what happened? Just give me a second, guys. Ideally, should not be the case. Serial number is static. Serial number equals to plus 1. Yes, we are doing it correct. Very good. How come it is the first also it getting changed? The second one is 2. I understand that is correct. Ideally, it is 0 plus 1. The second variable is correct. Second variable is taking 2 here. But how come the first one is becoming 2? When the C1 got created, it is going to the call the constructor. Oh, yes. The term serial number is 0. And this is case. It looks good to me. I don't know. This is like got created and it went to the constructor, getting the 1 there. Yes, it should stop there, right? C1 dot item. Maybe when I'm doing this, let's try to do that in a different way. Okay, what I will do, I will just instead of calling the menu here, what I will do here, let's create it at C1 dot get items. Then I am calling C2 dot get items. Instead of calling the menu, I am just calling the function itself. So I think whenever the menu is calling, it is reinitialized. That I need to check it why it is happening. But let's see the concept it works or not. So two things we got here. Item code 1001 12 1002 23, and again it is having 1003 23 1004 45. Still it is giving me 2 2 only. Any idea, guys, why it is happening? Can you just put some comments to me where I'm doing wrong? Mm,
Can you try to print there itself, the initialization itself, see what's happening it?
where?
No, can you print the serial number in the line number 4 and then line number 5 and see why, okay, what time, what is the output you are getting? No. The print statement alone, just print it in the fourth, okay?
Just to get an
Yeah.
idea, yeah.
Get an idea, see before the C1, okay?
Okay.
After the C1,
First see, yeah.
okay. Yeah, then we'll see what is the default value. Okay, let it be there, these two items. No.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
So we can
Let's see.
see where it's
then it will be comes as menu. 2 times it will come, no? Like first time I will need to enter, then again the get items will get called again. That's the problem. Ideally, something is fishy. No, just okay. I just put it in this bucket. Let's not do in this way. Let's run it. Okay. So two objects got created. See, for the first one, it is going on. So the first time
It's
in
calling
saying
as a
that
two,
it
two.
true.
Why?
Why? From where it is taking? Exactly the point.
No,
Mm,
go 0 from 0 plus 1. It should be 1 only.
it should go one only.
Maybe for two objects it is
Should we
two.
do the
Well,
increment function in a different function rather than in init function?
I got. I think I got it. One second. Mm, okay. Let's do that now. So serial number first is 1. Okay. So first item, first object got created, and I called the get item methods. I'm printing the item serial number. It is 1. Okay. Now the second object got created. Now I'm putting for that 1003, 1004, 45, and enter. It should give me the serial number as 2. What has happening in last time is when I'm doing like this, right? C1 and C2 equals to item at one go. Both objects. So both objects got initialized. The first step is 1, this is 2. So both objects are at a time it is executing and it is taking the last value as 2 only. What I did now is that let's create the first object, then call the methods whatever have, then create the next object and it will take the last happened for the serial number. So this time I am getting 1 and 2. Does that make sense? Clear the point?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. So that was the mistake which I did it. Okay. So whenever I'm calling instance, like how many instance we will create, that many instance it will increase, right? And that is the last value. So that will be shared across all the objects, right? Make sense for to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and this is called your static method. So static method always through the class name and whenever you're calling and whenever an initialize. And the same applies for even the static method also. Suppose, and just for a real time, if suppose I'm giving an example. Suppose you are working on a real time bank application, let's say. What will be the static method here in this case? Right? I'll give an example. Suppose you are working for a customer and for a branch, the IFSC code or the branch code for the bank that is should be a static because that is should be shared by every member of that customer, right? So suppose you are a customer one in the bank, second customer comes up, everybody have their own data like pin number, balance, everybody that is up to the object, but there should be shared one information across that is called the even the branch code of that bank. So that in that scenario, those branch code or the IFSC code of the bank should be declared as static. Make sense? Got the point?
Yes.
Where you can implement the static. Got it? So whenever any variable or any kind of information should be shared across all the objects, okay, then we can say that is an event. Suppose any method which you want to share it across all the object, then that is a static method. So how to declare a static method? We'll do a example on the static method tomorrow, but static method how we can declare, we can say like this. To define before method we can say at the rate something like that, static method. If we declare a static method before to the function, then those methods will be declared as static. Okay, now the same procedure I will allow. The static method will be accessed through the class name rather than the object name. Okay. So this example we will do it, but try and understand that what is called a static variable. Make sense? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, before jumping to the static method, I just want to introduce one thing, and tomorrow we'll finish it up the oops with that static method example and the relationship. So basically, in in oops, there is a concept called relationships. So as of now, there are one class, two class, one class we are doing it. Okay. So there are in OOPS, there are two kinds of relationships is available. Okay. If you want to have a relationship. So one is called your aggregation relationship, and second one is called your inheritance. This is very much important for the real-time application, the inheritance. We'll discuss completely tomorrow on this part only. Okay. So aggregation is declared as has a relationship. I'll explain this with an example. You can able to understand. An instant in inheritance is something like is a relationship. This always remember this. Okay. What is has and what is each I will explain with an example. Okay. So let's take I have a class called like the grocery items from the superstore. So this class holds all the grocery item whatever you are purchasing. Okay. Then I have a class called product. So if I want to make a relationship between these two class, product and the grocery item, I can say product is, or I can say, sorry, not product, grocery items is a product. Can I say this? Grocery item, whatever the item you have, out of that is a product only, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is called inheritance. How to do it in a class, we'll see. But whenever there is a each is coming, is a relationship, then that's called your inheritance. But product is not a gross items. That is not possible, right? Product is product only. Grocery items or any item which you are purchasing, which is a product. But the vice versa is not possible, right? This is called your inheritance property. Make sense? The other one, the aggregation one. I'm giving an example here. Suppose you have a car class called address. Okay, and suppose I have a class called customer underscore. I have a class called customer details. Okay, so now tell me customer details. So here having the customer name, customer name, first name, last name, age, everything is there on the customer details. So can I say like this? Customer has an address, has an address.
Yes.
I can say that like so. This is called your aggregation relationship. Okay, so we'll do an example of these two tomorrow, and saying that how we can do that, all these things. But this you need to understand. Relationship is aggregation has a relationship, inheritance has is a relationship. Okay, so that's it from guys from my end, guys for today.